Matthew McConaughey, death masks.
And a library card.
Welcome to another episode of Velocity Chaos!
Welcome to another episode of the Velocity Chaos podcast. We are coming to you at the speed of sound from the Hexapod Soundhouse in Cleveland, Ohio. My name is Nick. I am so happy that you are here with us out there in the digital world, coming to our beautiful land of chaos and speed. I am joined by my illustrious co-host, Luke.
Hey, how's it going, everybody out there in the world? I just want to introduce you guys to our tried, true, trusty DJ who we can't see above because we got DJ High Top in here.
Hey, what's going on down there, guys? Pleasure to be on the show today.
Oh, it's fantastic having you. Thank you for being here. Nick, what do we got going on today?
He's always high and mighty, that guy. Anyway, just a reminder to our returning listeners and a note to our new friends here at the Velocity Chaos podcast. We explore the highest heights of human knowledge and the lowest depths of crude humor. Our mission is to tickle that pink thing between your ear. Poke, if you only have one ear. If you have two ears, you know it's between both ears. Poke that frontal lobe or sometimes just smash the laugh box. So hop in, buckle up for an infotainment ride across the airwaves.
That's right. And before we get into that, if you're Mick Foley and you do only have one ear, or you're a longtime listener, returning fan of Velocity Chaos Podcast, you can always follow us at Instagram at Velocity Chaos Pod, on Facebook, YouTube, Velocity Chaos Podcast, where you can watch us doing stuff. We're just sitting here, three dudes in a basement. I mean, at a Hexapod Soundhouse. This is it.
Yeah.
Check us out on your favorite podcast platform of choice. Leave us a review. We really, truly appreciate it if you could do that and share it with someone. We do want to thank you all for your ever-loving, lasting support. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, like we kick off every show now because we got into the rhythm of it and we don't forget it anymore. We do Make the Connection, which is an exercise Luke and I do. It's a word association exercise, and it's a lot of fun. Please join in out there listening. Shout out the word that comes to your mind. It's just a way to get our brains popping and get the flow going in the show. So DJ High Top has essentially got two words he's going to pair together, and he's got two dice, D6s somewhere. Okay, he's still got them. Cool. He's the dice master over here. And so he's going to roll them. Luke and I, it's our mission to get between the two words in whatever he rolls. So let's just hope it's not snake eyes.
You jinxed it.
Yeah, but we've done that before.
We could do it again and again.
I'm all the way down. Look at me go. I got my mistake in for the
DJ,
show. Okay.
back up to High Top.
DJ Low Top at this point.
DJ Lowrider.
All right, I'm going to hit you with the magical dice.
Oh!
Boosting our numbers up here today, fellas. We got 10.
Dang.
All right, 10. We got to get between two words in 10 pairs or 10 matches. So
think you guys might need it because we're going to be making the connection between Russia and pineapple.
Russia. All right. How do we start it off? That's mine, right?
Yeah, you start with it.
Right.
So not including this first word, we're landing on pineapple in 10.
Okay. Russia.
Ivan Drago.
Rocky.
Boxing.
Rings.
Jewelry.
Wealth.
Abundance.
Vacations.
Tropical. Fruits.
Pineapple. Yeah! Yeah, saved it. Nailed it. Ah.
It's like chess as long as you got your hand on the piece, right?
So good. We're so good. Yeah. We always got a hand on the piece.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good. Now that I feel all warmed up, hopefully you do out there too. I was thinking like, I don't know, wealth. I was like vacation. Yeah. I was going for beaches. I also remembered last minute that you can give pineapples as gifts like that.
Yeah. That's a big thing. I learned that one from Psych.
Psych. Nice.
That's one of the top TV shows. Anywho, what do we got going on?
Well, moving on into the show, our first segment is going to be party knowledge. So the next soiree you guys go to, hopefully it's one, maybe break this out at a funeral. This might be a good idea to break it out there. We're going to talk about death masks.
I love those parties.
Those are great parties,
Favorite
man.
parties.
Sometimes, people are pretty, I don't know. I have a bad habit these days of being like upbeat at funerals.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are a little taken aback by that. But if I always know the person. I don't just roll into funerals. People I don't know.
Hey, this party. who died at this party?
Yeah.
I mean, come on, cheer up.
Who died and made you the head of the party committee? My father.
Must be fun. Everyone's dying to get there.
Oh.
Hey.
High top, back on it.
It's eyebrow jokes.
No, if I know the person, I'm always like, and I like the person, I'm always like, oh, like they live such a great life. And I remember like my cousin's grandma on his like outside, that I knew. So not my personal grandma. I was there and I was like, man, she was so great. And I was like telling these stories. And I just remember the look on his face of like, why are you like smiling and laughing? I'm like, because she was awesome. So I don't know. I maybe got to reel it back in a little bit.
There's a tasteful way to do it,
Yeah, I don't think I was like over the top, but I don't know.
You should have seen her fall down those stairs, man. It was hilarious.
Yeah. Anyway, death masks. There's no way around it. This is gonna be a morbid party knowledge. So if you really want to really be a Debbie Downer, bring that party, like if it's getting too out of hand and you want to just even things out, you chuck this into the conversation. All right. Death masks. Okay. I just learned about this, and it's really interesting little part of human history that I never heard of, but makes a lot of sense. So what are they? They're essentially just like very quick busts of dead people. And they would use plaster or they would use different materials to get a mold of that person's face. And a lot of times, like they were predominantly used between like, middle millennia to like the 1800s as a way of preserving the person's image.
Oh,
because at that point, like painting materials and all that were very rudimentary, or they were really reserved for like the wealthy people who could commission a painting, and they were the, not sponsors, but the, what's it called? Like when you
Benefactors?
Benefactor. Yeah. That kind
the
of
will
people.
Yeah.
I can't remember the word now I'm caught in a loop.
We're good.
Anyway.
So is this pre-death or post-death? Like someone dies and they do a mask of their face?
Yeah, they're dead. And so
so you don't have to worry about them breathing.
Yeah,
so you just slather that shit on their face.
Yeah. But that's actually one of the things is like all the people, the eyes are closed and the mouth is closed, and it's just like the whole thing. There's no ear, there's no nostril holes or anything like that. But then like near the 1800s, like at that point, painting was more for everybody. You didn't have to be just ultra wealthy. Like people could commission stuff, and patron. That's the word that I was thinking of. Like you'd be a patron of an artist, and they would paint whatever you wanted.
Okay.
If your family members, you doing different things. So like you didn't have to be ultra wealthy anymore. More paintings existed. In fact, artists started to want to paint normal people, like regular people, right?
That's boring. I want famous people.
No. Yeah, actually you do. Anyway, the point is these death masks actually became used as like the model for the person. So sometimes they were too busy, or they were like normal, or the family would, the person would die and the family would be like, well, let's all pool our money together and get a painting of this person to remember them, right? Maybe they just thought it was frivolous when they were alive. So these death masks were used as like the reference for the painter that was going to do the painting later.
Okay.
So like they would have a real person, a live person, like sit in, they'd paint their body in the scene, and then they'd take the death mask and they'd like look at it and they'd like paint it in where the head is.
That's clever.
Yeah. Cause we didn't have photographs back then. We didn't have Photoshop. So
I'll do that, but I'll just like, when I die, give my body to this elementary school and they can make a paper mache mask of my face. and then I want it painted after that.
So that was what it was then. 1800s started to flip to where like more modern culture, famous people began to have more meaning and power globally. And so now death masks, you started to see them like become collector's items, like genuine death masks. Like people would like buy them and like have them in their house and like stuff like that.
That's spooky.
It is kind of spooky, but it's cool at the same time.
See, I was thinking when you brought this up, I thought this was like a Japanese like thing.
Yeah.
Where they have like those warrior masks or like karate masks.
What is it?
Kabuki theater, stuff
Kabuki
like
theater.
that.
No,
Yes, I thought it was part of that.
This is a death mask is a real thing.
Japanese things aren't real though.
The Japanese, not even whole countries.
We're kidding, okay?
Yeah, don't cancel us.
We got to do a Japanese news segment now.
It's all right. I'll do that. There's some cool stuff. So the reason I found this out, the guy who created Amazing Stories, which was like one of the first pulp magazines in the early 1900s. He apparently was like good friends with Nikola Tesla, and then when Nikola Tesla was older, he would just like give him money because, you know, Tesla died destitute and pretty much was like a forgotten person. And yet this guy like commissioned the death mask of Nikola Tesla when he passed away, and he was like Amazing Stories was a big like science fiction stuff, like magazine like for kids and young adults and stuff. So this guy really was into science, the publisher, the editor of this magazine. And so he commissioned a death mask of Tesla and like owned it for like a long time. And that was like one of the most recent ones that I like heard of. And I thought that was really interesting and kind of cool. Like if you owned the death mask of Nikola Tesla, I feel like that'd be very inspiring to have in your office.
That's on my bucket list now.
Yeah. So I think right now it's like in some New York, I think it's still in the building that magazine started in, because like they donated it as like a installation art essentially, and it's on a big plaque, and they actually used copper, like a technique to like cover it in copper, so now it's like even more preserved.
Dang.
So yeah, like that was where I learned about this, but then there's like other famous death masks that exist. Like they think they have Dante's death mask, the author of the Divine Comedy. That he died in 1320, so that's like how old like that was.
That's
wow.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's an old dude.
Yeah. And then they have Mary Queen of Scots. Now that one I'm not sure how do they do that, because like the guy chopped off her head, right?
Someone just came by, like just scoot, like
dropped it in a vat of like plastic.
I got it.
Yeah, well, see, that's what I'm saying is like on a body, I could understand like they're laying on the table, you like pour it over, you let it set, you pull it off, there you go, you cast it, right? With her, it's a head like rolling around. Like, how are you doing? You like dunking it?
Yeah.
Like by the hair.
Probably just turned her face into like one of those stampers. Like she just dip it in ink and like
roll it
across a piece of paper.
Or they just took like a bowl of it and then just shoved her head into it, like, tapped the side to get the bubbles out.
It was so funny. I was researching this. I didn't know this, but somebody like told her. She was like, "Can I get my affairs in order before you kill me?" And this, I'm sad we're making fun of this because she died a terrible death. But she's like, "Can I get my affairs in order?" And I guess some numbskull was like, "No, madam, you must die. You must die."
Jesus.
Be ready between 7 and 8 in the morning. Wow. It's like, dang, dude. Like, come on.
Cold-blooded.
You got John Keats, the poet. He died in 1821. Tuberculosis.
The preservation of something like that, like especially Dante from the 1300s, like that is insane for that to last 800 years.
So that's where I think the collecting thing came into play, of like somebody had it in their collection because it was like Dante, right? Like big, and so they just kept it and either heirloomed it out or they sold it, and people.
But to not be destroyed in some sort of war or pillaging or when so many libraries have been destroyed. And
so you got this one. This one's really going to raise eyebrows. Napoleon Bonaparte's death mask. So 1821.
These things are super detailed. Like if you look up John Keats, the second picture on his Wikipedia is his. Well, they call it a life mask because they're not the Velocity Cast podcast.
Well, here, but I have the note around the life.
Oh, sorry.
So go ahead.
Yeah, but I mean, just the detail in these things. Like it looks. I mean. Honestly, just looks like a perfect scan of their face. Like the dimensions are perfect. It's not jacked up.
I'm going to wrap up Bonaparte really quick, and then we're going to go to that really quick on the life mask. They sold Napoleon's in London for $260,000. Wow. Just the death mask.
That's it?
Yeah. Well,
I was going to say, I'm going to try to get my death mask to be worth a little bit more than that.
Yeah. Well, if we keep doing podcasts.
Yeah.
So the life mask is if you do this while you're alive.
Oh.
So you
makes
can
sense.
get it casted. Here's the funny thing, right? There's this. Some people speculate some of the paintings of famous people after they died and used a death mask because your face like innately droops because the muscles are relaxed and there's nothing, or they shift because they're contorted in death. Like the painter like got it wrong. Like people can tell when it was painted off of a real subject or if it was painted off a death mask because the people who were painted off a death mask reference kind of look like
They got the jowls.
Grumpier, weirder. Like their face looks different. And that's, I thought, was fascinating that like there's dead people paintings and live people paintings.
That makes so much more sense now.
Yeah, it does. Like you see him, you're like, that guy looks creepy as hell.
Why are they all cranky?
Yeah, exactly. And it's because they're just painting dead masks, you know?
He must have just lost a ton of weight and now he's losing it in the face.
So you're right. So these are super detailed, but it's probably because they were a life mask and didn't do it.
So they got to do those upside down so it's pulling up. Get the high.
Yeah. They got John Dillinger, the crime boss, organized crime boss, killed by the FBI in 1934. So they have some cool ones in here. That guy that was definitely a death mask.
Yeah, that is that's not good looking. He's a good looking guy, but that death mask doesn't do him justice.
If you guys were to like have a death mask made of a celebrity now, like,
Oh,
or who do you think? Sorry, let me rephrase it. Who do you think would be the first person, like modern celebrities, who'd be like, I'm having a death mask, like right now?
They're alive.
Yeah, but like, who's the most like? It's like the high school thing. Like, who's the most likely to get one?
Beyonce.
Really? I wouldn't want that.
Maybe.
Wait, you're just saying who's gonna get? I
Johnny
didn't
Depp.
say that I wanted it.
No, I'm saying who's the most.
You got to
likely
ask
to
the
have
question:
one?
which one do you want the most? I think is.
Oh.
I think that
Good
was,
question.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, if that's the question, maybe probably Keanu.
Kangaroo?
Oh, that'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I was going like classic, I would do. I'd like a Gene Wilder one.
Ooh.
Matthew McConaughey, but like the whole head with like all the hair and everything. Katy Perry comes to mind.
Ooh, just a bust. What about you, DJ High Top?
Oh, I don't know. Kanye and Jennifer Aniston.
Okay,
Those would be my top picks. Yep.
that's cool.
Those have to be life masks. I don't
Now we can never meet these people because they're just gonna be like, "Oh, those are the weird guys."
Yes.
Who want my dead
I want
face?
your head
Please give me your face. I want to keep it.
for my gallery. Yes.
I've seen like the Oliver Cromwell death mask is insane because it was in wax, so like it's ultra detailed.
So you got to keep it in a refrigerator.
Yeah, just like you would keep a regular head.
Oh, he's got the mustache or the beard and
mustache.
everything.
Yeah, so that was what I was looking at. His has like facial hair in it. And then they have Beethoven's. So yeah, there's quite a few like famous death masks circulating out
I
there.
believe the pronunciation is Beethoven.
Beethoven. Ludwig von Beethoven. Beefhaven. Anyway, so yeah, man, death masks. How about that, huh?
That's crazy.
Would you get one?
It's not up to me, is it? It's up to whoever wants to preserve my face, right?
Well, I was telling DJ High Top earlier that I think I would probably like in my will like set aside like 10K and like whatever city I'm living in when I'm old.
Yeah.
Just find an artist, like a sculptor, young sculptor guy, and just be like, hey, 10K is yours if when I die, like my lawyer's gonna call you. You're gonna come in. You're gonna pour wax on my dead face.
That's what I'm saying. Send
and
it.
then I'm gonna go extra step, and then you're gonna cast it in like a sweet metal, like platinum, right? But I'm only gonna pay you $10,000, and you're gonna send it to all my enemies. I'm just gonna open the box. What's in the box?
Millions of metal heads.
Yeah, just my face, like just everywhere. Send it out to the world. Give it to the carrier pigeons. Just send it out.
It's just gonna have one of those like birthday cards with the microphones that just goes, "Here's Nikki."
yeah, just freak people out.
Shove it through. That's what I was saying, though. Yeah, just donate my body to a middle school for
a metallurgy school.
No, middle school. And then just for art class, just paper mache my death mask, my face.
I thought like you wanted your whole body cast in like bronze. I was gonna be like, they don't have enough bronze for the nether region. We ran out of bronze. That was a veiled leg joke. But yeah, man. So that's it. Death masks, life masks. I think so. Yes, just your body.
I mean, I guess.
Just your body. What about you, DJ?
Negative.
Take a picture.
He just wants
It
the
lasts
top of his head.
Just the high top.
It'll just be my hands. It'll just be like,
Oh!
and I'd put them on a front door.
That's the last thing I'll say about this. I can't believe you've been nailing this segue. You just perfect every time. Segue. For people whose faces were like destroyed in their death, they would cast their hands instead of their face. This happened to some like prime minister or some government official in Canada, where like some guy shot him in the face and just like obliterated his skull.
Yeah.
And so they casted his hands, like I think like
Just crossed up.
just like crossed up like a nice little watch commercial. Like,
I would get a hand one,
Handshake.
like in a handshake,
Oh.
and then people that would want to shake my hand in the future.
that's
like,
an awesome.
Yeah.
But it's like not the rest of your body. It's just,
No,
like
it's just-
out of a pedestal. Just
yeah.
shake your hand.
Yeah, it's just his handshake position.
That's awesome for a statue.
yeah, that'd be really cool.
Or you get
A lot of people are gonna do some funny stuff to that.
you
Hey.
get real creative and you put the hand coming out of your grave and it's just clawing its way
That's
out.
the best gravestone ever. That makes a lot of sense. But you know what else makes a lot of dollars? The goods. That's right, the goods. The main ingredient in this stuff. You can now have the goods right at your very own fingertips without having to go through the stuff to get it. The goods are exactly what you'd expect them to be. High quality, refined, and never touched by human hands until they get to you. The goods have more beneficial properties per capita than any other known water-soluble powder known to anyone that knows anything about any who that lives just about anywhere. Get your hands on the goods today. And at checkout, remember to use the code VCPOD25 for a free 25-day size travel pack of the goods. That's VCPOD25 so you can get the goods in your hands tomorrow, today. This is not an actual product, service, or idea. Just in case you thought it was, it's not. If there's something out there with the same name and we are unaware of, no affiliation and offer no judgment on the actual product, service, or idea.
Bang, pop, zing. What we got here? We're going into hypothetical life. We were just talking about hypothetical death things. Let's talk about hypothetical life situations. So podcast I listen, this is not a recommendation. If you want to, go ahead. But a podcast I listen to is Rob Dial. He hosts the Mindset Mentor podcast. Mm-hmm. And it's just short video, not video, short podcasts like every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I started from the beginning, so I don't know where he's at now, but this was like years ago. So, but he kind of frequently brings up this question. He asks, if I were to ask you in the next year, could you make $1 million? What would you say?
Ugh, no.
Probably not.
You can or can you or
I'm
you want
asking
to?
you if you can.
In 1 year.
Yeah, in this next year.
I try real hard. Real hard.
Okay, so he says, probably 99.9% of people are going to say, I can't do that.
Yeah.
But he said, if I give you this stipulation, someone gun to head, I'm going to kill you if you don't make $1 million in this, in the next year. Are you going to make $1 million? You're probably going to try a whole lot harder to make that $1 million.
Wow.
So it's the point he's getting at, and this is all paraphrased, but like the point he's getting at is based on your circumstances, if you really wanted to do something, you'll do it.
Yeah.
If not, you'll make excuses.
Ah.
So this hypothetical life question that I kind of stemmed from that is, if you lose kind of everything you have except $1,000, what steps would you go to, like, to regain wealth, kind of? And then if we want to add like an extra layer to that, like if we had to, like over 1, 3, 5 years, like set a deadline on it,
Yeah.
like how would you think you could raise up to,
This
like,
is hefty.
this is a
hefty.
deep one.
Joke's on you. I'd be rich. It's the first time I got $1,000.
I actually wrote that in here. If you never had $1,000, you now have $1,000.
Yeah. And what are we talking about? Like, what level of loss are we talking about?
You have
Everything.
Everything. You don't have a place to stay. You only have the clothes on your back and $1,000.
And no people.
No people.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, you lose all your connections.
Actually, this would be great for me.
Total reset.
Oh, yeah, total
Yeah.
reset.
Just
See
a
ya,
reset.
Suckers.
No shelter, no transportation, no connections, just clothes and $1,000.
Oh, $1,000?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
yeah, so I was like, what's so? I guess we'll start. What's your first purchase, or like where are you kind of putting your money first? I'll go.
And I'm right here in Cleveland, or do I get to choose where I start?
I guess you could kind of choose like I was trying to think of like a better like starting like
These are really
FBI's
interesting rules.
FBI's like somehow you just got to get out of here, but we're not doing witness protection. Like you just got to leave. Like,
You're on your own.
Like,
Yeah, this is like the house burns to the ground theory.
Yeah.
Theory. No insurance, nothing.
I would say so. I would start off. I would just while you guys think about it, like I'd get like a cheap cell phone.
Yeah.
Get that, probably $50 in some sort of pay-as-you-go plan. Probably, this is not a endorsement, but Planet Fitness membership. That way you got, you have a shower so you can be presentable.
Smart. Okay.
I'm trying to think of like a place to sleep. I don't know if you can, if you got to do couch surfing. I mean, you have the phone so you can look up some Airbnb stuff. Maybe try to find something cheap, but then
I'm going straight to Vegas.
Straight to Vegas. 1,000 on black.
1,000 on black.
That and then I would try to work at Chipotle or some place that.
Oh yeah.
You get food for working.
Chipotle is like 3 years. What is it? Like a 3-year plan to 6 figures for managers. Like if you join and get on their track, their manager track, it's like they'll get you to 100K.
Oh yeah.
In like 3 years.
Hey, that could be the thing.
There you go. Well, that's the starting point.
But
You're
that's
picking
what
up a lot of shifts and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'd try to do. Within the first week.
We still have to do $1 million, or we just have to gain our wealth back. We got to gain our life back.
Well, if that's the case, I'm already there then. But I'd say, yeah,
fly
we
to
try
Los
to get
Angeles
to
and just knock on a couple, adult film studios doors.
Yeah.
And say, "Daddy's home."
That was the other thing I was thinking is like first thing. All right, I'm doing some fellatio, and now I'm up to $1,020. So.
Okay, so no, in seriousness, definitely want to get someplace warm, and then I would probably be one. I'd get a bike.
Okay, yeah,
Okay?
transportation.
That's my transportation.
Yeah,
and I'd probably get a used bike.
Yeah,
and a sweet bike lock. So top, if you really shop well, like you're probably looking at like $150 for a bike,
something decent, yeah,
and then like a lock. There's like $200. Let's say $200 on the bike.
I'll allow it.
Okay, $200 on the bike. So I got transpo. Find like a campsite and camp. So I'd get a tent. Cheapest tent I can find.
Under $180 probably.
Yeah, just so if I have a little shelter, but like I want to camp a little bit, and that's I think maybe with it. Like if you're at a campsite,
mm-hmm.
then you have the shower and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Never been, so I didn't know.
Yeah, like a lot of campsites do.
Jump in a pond.
And then I agree with you. I think the first step is like a high productivity job that you can get OT on.
OT and meals.
Meals help. So yeah, like a Chipotle, like a Cane's chicken, something.
Mm-hmm.
Chick-fil-A.
Oh hell yeah! And you got your Sundays off to do some planning.
There you go. No, seriously. No, I'm serious. So I think food's probably the smart way to go. I agree with you on all that. I think the first thing is just to get the baseline, and then, now do I lose my degree, my college degree?
No, you have all your information.
Oh, you have all your information.
I mean, I don't know how much like you have this degree.
So I would wait to apply for a new job until I had enough to buy a used car or get a car. Because like if you're gonna get a job, you don't know which one you're gonna get. So you kind of like a bike. You might be like 5 miles away from where you are. You might get 25 miles from where you are, and that's a different.
Get
that's
them
a big
thighs
difference.
pumping.
I guess. But I mean, with the car, I just think even a motorized bike or a moped was going to be something more significant.
Yeah.
Just you got to map it out. So I think, and I probably wouldn't get rid of the first job that I got. I'd probably stick with that just to keep like building income and just focus on build income, upgrade to a place that is better shelter, more protected, but super cheap, and then get that job. Then I'm milking 2 jobs.
Little studio, yeah, get a couple jobs going.
Focused in, yeah,
Nice.
locked in.
What about you, DJ High Top?
Oh, I would definitely go with the backpack and the tent. Backpack and tent first purchase, raincoat next purchase. Just like basis, right?
Yeah.
Basis.
All weather, yeah.
Then Cece's Pizza. immediately. Cece's Pizza at $5.95 goes a long way, and you know nobody's checking if you
Do
take
they
a couple
still have
extra
CC's?
slices. Yeah, you stuff a couple in your pocket. You be those Cinnabons, man. I see you, Cece's.
Golden Corral.
But here's my other one. I would get a library card.
That's
First thing,
Yeah,
library card.
That's where I'm going next.
Because I'm probably not gonna get a cell phone plan right out the gate. You know, that's like you're burning money. Then I have a computer. I can print stuff. You know what I mean? You can steal grandma's print tickets if you got to, if you don't have enough change. And shopping cart's the move. I mean,
Very mobile.
Yeah, very mobile. That's if you want to be like established in a zone. But yeah, I think library cards are the first initial.
That's
just to get you on your feet.
Because that's your Wi-Fi. You get there after work. You're doing work. You're either getting your more classes in, or you're applying for jobs, better jobs.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is like if you need to learn something, they probably got a book on it, and you got to pick up a trade. You can read everything you need to know about plumbing or making money. Probably, how to make money 101.
Big time.
Yeah,
trades would be the way to go. Just like initially,
investment strategy,
and then yeah. I mean,
if you lose everything, the one thing that it does take completely away is the distractions, which is kind of like that reset button. I think sometimes people wish that they could just like shut it all off, and that's kind of like one of the big pressures in life. Which is, it's hard to talk about this because like those distractions are loved ones calling you to say, "Hey, do you want to meet us for a burger?" Like and it's like that innately is healthy for you, but at the same time, like I always think it's hard for people in their 20s to balance like the blessings that are becoming distractions,
Yeah.
And that's kind of a time of life where I think more young people should be encouraged to like avoid distractions and fight, because then once they get through their 20s and they get to that 30s, 40s place and they're established, like then you can kind of enjoy what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah. People definitely need to experience more when they're younger.
Yeah.
And encounter more things.
But I think I have a really good friend named Ellie in Los Angeles, and she's like a big inspiration to me because she just goes. She's like a woman Matthew McConaughey. Like she's got the vibe. She's cool with a lot of people. She's very open, and like she doesn't let like change like scare her. So like so what I'm saying is like she doesn't let personal distractions get in the way of her growth. But she's not like a bad person. Like if you come into her orbit, like she's super friendly, but she's not like killing herself to like go out of her way to do certain things. You see what I mean? It's like that balance.
Yeah, she's not trying to please everyone around her.
Yeah.
She's number one on her priority list, and when she's okay, then she can take care of others if she has time.
Yeah.
But if she's not okay, then how can she spend extra time on other people?
But I'm even talking about just like the steps up. Like she's always fighting for more, and it's always benefiting from more, which like goes to that whole like idea of like a lot of people just don't ask.
Yeah.
Like if you're working at Chipotle trying to work your way back up and you're just like, hey, can I have more hours? They're going to be like, hell yeah. Right now, I know for sure. They'd be like, how many do you want?
Yeah.
And if you're making OT, you're just like banking all of that. And if you like don't have any distractions, you're kind of like in that work, it's just for you kind of thing. So I don't know. Sometimes moving and going to a place kind of on your own, like, new city, on your own, or if you're in a relationship, like as a couple moving to a different place, like that reset helps you frame up your life totally different. And I think even if you were to move back, you're looking at your home different.
Yeah, you're coming definitely a changed person based on your experiences and everything that you had to do. You you can do it because you've just done it, and then two, you see, like you said, you see things differently, and it's different perception. And I watched the minimalist documentary or something. I forgot what it was called, but those two dudes that are big on the minimalist lifestyle, where they went through like all their belongings, and then it's like you box up everything you have, like you're moving, and then whatever you live out of boxes for the next 3 weeks. Whatever you don't use in those 3 weeks, you throw it away, give it away, donate it, sell it, but then you just use the rest of that stuff.
That's genius. Yeah, it's like that's a lot of people use that. It's like a 3 or 6 month theory.
Yeah,
on the reset move. That's a cool way to do it. I mean,
I got all this shit.
No, I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Distractions, all distractions.
Totally.
Yeah.
I went out of the state last year a lot. I was on the road for about like 6.5 months in two different cities, and one of the coolest parts of it was the first place I stayed. It was down in Savannah, Georgia. I actually lived in it was an apartment of sorts, but it was a converted garage. They didn't have an oven in it. It was just a bedroom, bedroom, bathroom, which is the funny part is this is more than what most people on earth have. Like a bedroom, bathroom,
perspective for you.
Kitchen area, and a hot plate. So it was just basically an efficiency. And the coolest thing was it's like you find out a way to cook for yourself. I had like 2 dishes. That was it. Every morning, it's like I had a bowl and a plate, and every time I had my cereal, I'd clean it every morning, and every time I had my dinner, I'd wash it right then. Like there's no letting it soak. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And when I was on the West Coast, it was the same thing. We took those Home Depot Tupperwares because I had to make room for my dog to travel with me in my truck. So the only clothes I had to fit in a Home Depot Tupperware in the trunk of my bed so it didn't get wet, and that was it. And I just lived out of the Tupperware for another 3.5, 4 months, and it was, like you say, less distractions. You could focus on wherever you had to go, whoever you want to talk to. You didn't have to, you're not worried about cutting the grass. Like, it's great.
What so successful people like Steve Jobs, what did he wear? Black turtleneck and slack, like
jeans.
It's just
not even slacks, jeans.
Yeah, so that's just taking extra decisions out of your day. Like, what am I wearing today? I'm wearing black turtleneck and jeans. Like, that's it. Like, I was thinking about that. You're just kind of just simplifying everything and wear the same thing. Like Doug Funny, he's always
Doug Funny, dude.
Wearing a sweater vest,
green sweater vest, white T-shirt, and brown pants.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
So that is something I've heard is minimizing what you have to decide and stop bogging your daily life with meaningless decisions, and set yourself up for success by making your life easier.
Yeah.
So
yeah, totally.
How do you start doing that? Like, do you have to do a drastic reset, or can you start offloading different things?
I would just say little by little. So it's I think small changes add up to big development over time. So it's like, depending on what you want to do, like, do you want to go running every morning? So I don't know what you can do. Put your running shoes next to your bed or something. So when you wake up, they're right there. Oh, let me put them on. Now I got to go out and run.
Yeah.
Just making it easier or like, if you want to wake up earlier in the morning, don't keep your phone next to your bed because you're just going to roll over and snooze it. Put it in the bathroom or in the hallway, crank it up, and then now you got to get up to. You
know how a couple episodes ago I talked about the sleep number bed that I recommended? Sleep number, good for you. Yeah. What's funny is that it's tracking your sleep, right? And when you wake up, say you get up at 7:30, right? Or say your alarm's at 7:30, you wake up, or your alarm goes off, and then you stay in the bed. Guarantee a lot of people don't go right back to sleep. They're disrupted. Like, their sleep is disrupted at that point. So even though they're laying there and like, I'm sleeping, they're not. Yeah. It's restless sleep. So it's really worthless sleep is what it is.
Yeah.
And when you're in the bed, say it goes off at 7:30 and I stay in the bed until 7:43, right? That's 10 minutes of restless sleep, which like affects my sleep score uselessly. Because like, I know I'm just laying in that bed. And so like, this bed I've been like kicking myself out of the bed because I don't want to screw up my sleep score because I'm actually trying to take my health seriously with the sleep because I think I might have some like problems, like apnea problems.
Okay.
And so I'm like trying to get a more accurate reading. And I know that if I just lay there, the bed's just going to be like restless sleep. And then it just like throws everything off. So like I've been getting out of bed like right on my alarm clock. So it's like interesting little habit things like that where you're like hacking your life.
Yeah.
And I think what I want to combine is I appreciate what you brought up today about like simplicity, and I want to combine that with like habit building because, like you said, take the decisions out of it. Like when we built the podcast, like how we changed our model and like we built a prototype and then we just can copy paste it. And how many times have like we've been rolling in like filling it in. But imagine if we didn't have that. Like, it would be so disorganized, we wouldn't know what to do, and then we wouldn't have a record to refer to anything.
It would be episodes 1 through 27.
Yeah, episodes 1 through 27. But then even like in our tracker where we can see, we're not going to repeat certain things. So it's like letting the process do the work.
Yeah, you're taking the work out of it, hard work out of it.
And I've been trying to figure out how to do that in little ways. One of the things I need to get better at is like grocery shopping and meal stuff. Like I still can't. I hate that.
in general, or how do you mean?
Like the chore of saying, what are we going to eat this week? Like you were talking about, like just simple meals, like Steve Jobs, your meals.
Yeah.
You know, like I only eat for lunch Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, this, and then I eat Tuesday or Thursday, Friday, this, and I just eat. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Like the only time I should be like thinking and selecting things is if I'm going out to lunch, like if I'm going to a business lunch or if I'm just meeting up with somebody, because then it's like selective, right? But if I'm just like prepping lunch at home, it's just me. Why am I like whipping up a chicken cordon bleu? Like, you know, like I should just. It should already be made. It should be taking the process.
Yep.
You know, the process should be doing the work. So what I hate is like not having that habit, I guess, is what I just am realizing as I'm talking to you.
That's like we did it for Michelle and I for a while, is just like rice and fish. Like just put rice in the cooker, throw some vegetables in there, let them steam, and then make some fish. Bam, that was our dinner. Like it's just super simple every night.
Yeah.
And I don't mind it. The same thing. I don't care. It's good enough. It's good enough for me. But the one thing with building habits, I don't know if I mentioned this on the podcast. I forgot who I was talking to, but it was like some guy was saying, I want to floss my teeth every day because better teeth health. So what I'm going to do is because I don't floss all my teeth, I'm going to just floss one tooth every day, and then that tricks my brain into, I'm already here doing this one tooth. Let me just do the rest real quick.
Nice.
The other one was
that's how I hacked my workouts.
Yeah.
I'm just like
do one push-up. I'm already here. Let me buzz out another 9.
Oh, that was terrible. I'm out here. Yeah. No, just going to the gym. Like, having no plan. Like sometimes I roll into the gym. I don't even have a plan. I don't even know what I'm gonna do. But I'm just like, just get to the gym.
Yep.
And then you're like, man, I really don't feel like moving anything, so I'm just gonna do legs because I also hate leg day. I've been hacking my leg day. No, I've been hacking leg day by working out the upper body really hard for like 3 days, and then I'm just like on the 4th day, I'm just like I don't want to do anything, and so I'm just like, well, I'll just do my legs. Boom! Like,
there you go.
Genius. You do one leg day a week. Like I'll take it. Like for now, I'll just take it.
Yeah, I think that's I forgot who I was listening to, but he's if you don't want to go to the gym or if you don't want to work out, at least just go to the gym. Make that part of your routine. Go to the gym.
Even if you're just sitting there talking to the clerk.
Exactly. Even if you just go and walk around for 5 minutes. Like you went, like, okay, you weren't really feeling it. Like you were too sore or something. But, it's still in your habit of going.
Yeah.
So, but I think,
really quick, Arnold Schwarzenegger, I saw his really cool speech he gave to a graduating class. And this is like years after he was governor and everything. But he was talking about how he wanted to be when he discovered he's a kid and he's in Austria and he's like, I didn't like Austria and I didn't want to be a farmer. I knew I could be something bigger. And so he's like, I was in class and they played a documentary about America and I'm like, that's what I want to do. And that was my goal. And then I got to America. And when he was like 18, 19, he's like, I got to America. And then I was in California and I was like, now what am I going to do? And then he saw a magazine of like this guy, like who is a huge bodybuilder, Mr. Olympia. And he's like, that's what I want to do. And he's like talking about how like every single thing led to a new goal. And once he accomplished the goal, then he moved to the next one. Like it led him to like the next one. So I think like having that goal is also important and then combining the habits to build it. Because he was saying he was looking forward to the next rep. He was looking forward to the next 500-pound squat because he hadn't reached his goal yet. And he knew these were just like the steps to get there. And that's just gym. Like that's just working out. That's one thing. For him, it was an art. Like for me, it's just like try not to be a piece of shit, And so
goal not achieved. No, a big thing about goals that I've coming to realize that I should be doing. So everyone, that's successful, or not, maybe not everyone, but a lot of people that are successful, they say, write down your goals, make them tangible in writing, and look at them every day, and how can you move toward those, and make your goals specific, because vague goals get vague results, specific goals get specific results.
Wow, that's a good one.
Yeah,
I like that.
I heard that one. Chris Van Vliet, he's a really good interviewer, does a podcast
sweet
called Insight, if you want to check that one out. But yeah, so that like kind of just in everything, even in, like, you guys know I'm big into disc golf, but one of the top players, Paul Macbeth, I heard him talking, and he's like, when he was coming up, when he was 15, 16, he had goals of like, I want to be world champion at this point, and he's 5-time world champion, but like at this point, but he wrote it down and like visualized it. So a lot of people that are super successful, they write their goals down, and there's a lot of journaling and stuff that goes on with these people, because they I guess they obsess about it, and then that causes them to go deeper into it.
Yeah.
So there is something to that, I believe.
The one thing that, and this is the last thing I'll say, is like I'd like to see somebody out there helping people coach through the things they can't give up, right? Like, or how to navigate those things. Because like some people, like they're in their 30s and they're married with kids and they like get obsessed, and then they like say nothing else is important, and it's like, okay, but you've made these commitments to like have a family and be a part of that, right? Like how I want to see people who are helping. Okay, that's great. Get obsessed. How do you live that, but like manage the things that you have to, or maybe some people have elderly parents that are sick, or a child that is ill, like how can they get obsessed and pursue their dreams, but like balance the responsibilities that they do have already committed? Because that's
well, the thing is, like, if you think about it, 24 hours in a day, sleeping for 8 hours, working for 8 hours, are you spending the other 8 hours with those people? Like, I mean, maybe there are some people that do that, but if you really break it down into all those things, like on your free time, are you spending all those 8 hours, responsibly? Like maybe you can cut it to 4 hours, spending it with your family. Then you do have 4 hours or, 3 hours to spend it on stuff that you want to do. So there's a lot of times where you're doing something, or you're watching TV. Like that's very wasteful activity, or, you're looking on your phone at, stupid stuff. Like all those little things add up to not being productive towards what you want to do. So
we should create a widget that's on your phone that just has like a little like ticker tape of things that you've written down for yourself that you want to achieve. And every time you can select certain apps that when you open those apps, the widget pops up and it's just like, these are all the things you could be doing.
Ooh, I like that.
and it like, you can maybe lock it and give the password to a friend, and then it's just like, you can't get rid of it.
Yeah.
That's
just like a little thought bubble over like part of your Instagram photos that you want to see.
Yeah.
Shit.
That's interesting.
I like that.
The top or the bottom of just rolling across the top.
So people who want to do something, who truly want to do something, they'll find a way to do it. If not, they'll find excuses. So there's that. I mean, I've been bouncing a lot of this stuff off the wall, and I know we really didn't fully answer the hypothetical life question, which is fine. I thoroughly enjoyed that that segment. But this product that I also thoroughly enjoy is that I've been bouncing off the wall is ball. Yeah, that's right, ball. I bounce ball. Ball comes right back. Ball is a state-of-the-art sphere that when given enough velocity will bounce off a surface. That's right, ball bounces. See that? Yeah, that's right. If you haven't seen it for your own eyes, you probably won't believe me, but you should believe me, because that's what ball does. Why would I lie to you? It's not like they're paying me to say ball bounces, even though it doesn't actually bounce. What? That would be ludicrous. Of course ball bounces. Let me show you. See? Look at this. Again, I bounce ball. Ball bounce right back. Get your palms on ball today at your local ball retailer, and at checkout mention code the Velocity Chaos podcast for a free weird look from your cashier. This is not an actual product, service, or idea, just in case you thought it was. It's not. If there is something out there with the same name, we are unaware and have no affiliation of no judgment on the actual product, service, or idea.
Okay, man.
Yes.
This episode's starting to take shape. I thought there's a theme here that we didn't even realize when we were putting it together. But it's like, if you want to be worthy enough for somebody to value your death mask, you have to be a certain level of productivity and efficiency in life, right?
Yes.
But even to get to that point of efficiency, you got to start.
Got to start. Step
and in this
one.
next segment, we're going to tackle that. Our last segment of this show is Don't Quote Me on This, where we go and we look at a quote or a few quotes from some famous individual that has made it way bigger than we have, and somebody that we can learn from. And today I'm going to. This guy's name is pretty much synonymous with prolific. I mean, it is like you look prolific up, and it's just like Stephen King.
I mean, he's royalty.
He is royalty. He is literary royalty.
Ooh,
Wow.
that's a tough one.
Wow.
Literary royalty.
Literal literary royalty.
Literally literary royalty.
Literally royalty.
Stephen King. He said the scariest moment is always just before you start. After that, things can only get better.
Good old Steve.
Good old Steve. That's the first quote we're going to talk about. So
Stephen with a PH. Stephen.
Yeah. So, I mean, Stephen King, obviously known to be one of the most prolific writers of all time, just like hit after hit after hit with books. And then all his books seem to be made into hit after hit after hit after movies. And the thing that he always talks about, and we'll get it in the second quote here in a second, which is even better than this first one, is that he's all about habit, all about commitment, all about like just the habitual nature of writing. And you read his book on writing, and it's just all about people can study the tools, people can go to school, people can read all the greats, people can do whatever they want, but all of it's fake until you just start freaking doing it.
Yeah.
And that book's great to read, I think, for anybody who wants to do anything, not just writing, because you could just sub the word write or writing for another verb and it'd be the same thing. It's all about, the tools. But there's plenty of people out there who have gotten through without the tools or any formal tooling because they just did it. And a lot of times what those people bring is something new to their sport, to their craft, to their art. Like, it's that outside opinion, sometimes that uncoached hand.
Yeah, you got to have that apprentice mindset when you're maybe not apprentice, but new mindset, because people have been doing plumbing the same way for 100 years. I don't know, I'm just throwing something out, but like doing a trade the same way. But they're doing the same thing the same way for so long, but it takes like an outside perspective or someone with a new learning mindset.
Yeah.
Like coming in like, oh, what if you did it this way? Like, we didn't think about that because we've been doing it this way for so long.
We've talked a lot about this when we relaunched the podcast, kind of had this same, I think this quote was like in our heads. Like we didn't even know it existed, but it was there. Cause it was just like, we just got to do it. We just got to do it. We just got to do it. Sit down, just do it.
Yep.
Like we hauled off, we bought the pad over here. The mixer. And we got shouted out. What is it? I got Zoom PodTrack 8. Okay.
P8.
See the power of the PodTrack 8. But you got to jump in. You got to just start ripping and rolling. And I think the back half of this quote is also interesting. After that, things can only get better.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't say easier. No. He says better.
Yep.
They can only get better. And it's like what you were saying with your hypothetical life. Like, how many people have you known, like every time you read a financial advice book, they cite people who made $1 million, lost it all, and then they made $10 million with their next thing because they just learned how to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, they already know how to. They already know the steps to get to X, So getting to 10X is, the same thing. I mean, just more work, but, you already have. You're gaining skills and networking and all these little intangible things that that can be applied in a different way, in a better way. Like you got wins and lessons,
Yeah, wins and lessons. So the other half of the other quote that I pulled from Stephen King, and I think this one goes right along with our theme today. Talent is cheaper than table salt. What separates the talented individual from the successful one is a lot of hard work.
Oh, dude.
Well, I'm glad I didn't say what I was going to say about the other quote because it's right there.
DJ High Top's like, nah,
dude,
nah.
My old man. I think I came out of the womb hearing my dad quoting everybody else, but he to the point where we put it on T-shirts in hockey that said, "Hard work beats talent if talent doesn't work hard."
Oh yeah,
I heard of that, and the great one, Wayne Gretzky, 99. Everybody, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take since the time I probably understood English, and I mean that one resonates too. Yeah, it's true, man. Just outwork. You can outwork talent any day of the week. So.
I think it comes down to it in sports. I mean, comebacks, huge part of that, of just like sheer determination, what's going on in people's minds and players' minds between the games of a final series or even a playoff series, in multi-sport games. I mean, the week before the Super Bowl, tennis matches. Sports is an easy example because of all like the physical and mental kind of alignment that has to go on.
Yeah.
But imagine if you took the commitment. I recently watched the Hustle movie with Adam Sandler, and it's about him finding a basketball player, and like he's a raw talent, and he brings him to the States, and then he just like works him, right? And then he's got to try out. He's still got to break in, but he's like ready for it, and that's where you just leave it up to fate. Like, hopefully it all works out.
Didn't Kevin Bacon do that there up there? Where he went to Africa and found a guy that was
maybe the Hustle is just probably. Hey, I'll watch both of them. But the whole point is just like taking raw craft and working it, because like there's always somebody else out there. But imagine taking that effort and applying it to anything else. I mean, it'd be amazing what could happen if you apply it to a business, like a restaurant, or to and a lot of people do apply to a restaurant because you're there for thousands of hours a year. Yeah.
A day.
Yeah. So, I think it's just, it's interesting what happens when you get the repetition in. And there's, again, two parts of this. Talent is cheaper than table salt. It's like right off the rip, he's just saying, he's shaking what you always talk about, Luke, about how everyone looks like an overnight success, but there's really decades, sometimes, most of the time, decades leading up to that.
10,000 hours if they're a master. That's what I was going to bring up is
Malcolm Gladwell stuff.
Yeah, whoever that guy is. Don't quote us on that, okay?
It is Malcolm Gladwell.
Oh, okay. Quote Nick on that.
Yeah.
But no, it's working. It's it's the people first in, last out. That mentality of I'm gonna be going over this, and championships aren't really won on that game night of them playing. They're won with the thousands of hours of practice or watching film, or billion-dollar companies aren't made overnight off of one sale. It's how many times were you up in the garage, packing whatever you had to ship out something for the next day or something, and it's those hours, and or your manufacturer fell through on something, so you had to figure out a way to all these experiences are just compounding. You're figuring out ways so that when it does happen down the line, you already know how to fix it. The more successful you are, most likely the more times you've failed and figured out how to get around it in the future.
Yeah. And that's the funny thing, is getting to those key moments of work. That's where work is. Work is not planning and thinking about it. Work is doing it. And I'm not saying you can't be SpaceX and just be firing rockets off into the world, into this atmosphere. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you got to fire the rocket. At some point you got to fire the rocket. You can't be a hypothetical space company, right? You got to show that you can put a monkey on the moon, right? That's what you got to do. Cuz then you got to put a man on the moon, and then you got to put a whole town on the moon, right? That's the hope, that's the goal. And it's the same thing with business and I mean anything. But the other part, what separates the talented individual from the successful one, is a lot of hard work. And it's just I think, unfortunately, I was taught to work really hard, but I wasn't taught how to work really direct.
Efficient.
Yeah, maybe efficiency is the word. I'm still uncovering this in my life of just there's plenty of people out there who want you to just work for them, just work hard.
Yeah.
There's plenty of people. There's plenty of people who will let you work 2 hours over than you have to. And they're like, yeah, good for you. But imagine if that boss isn't there for 2 hours and you just stay for 2 hours, and then you don't get acknowledged for staying late.
Yeah.
And then you miss that opportunity to develop the other part of your life that, would take you to the next level. So that's what I'm saying. It's you need to understand where the work matters, I think get this.
Yeah. There's a balance. And that's one thing when I was working at that insurance company, oh, you guys could do overtime. I did overtime once. Yeah. And I'm like, no, I'm never doing this again. That's my time. I'm not making that much more money. Yeah. Doing this overtime. So it's every time it's no, I'm not doing it. Yeah. And it's just because you have to value what you can be doing outside of your job to work on yourself.
And that's I think the thing is that an orthodontist guy that I know, his advice was the first 8 don't count. And it's that's just your job. And so be efficient, do your job.
What about my teeth?
Well, but you're doing your day to day. You're doing your day to day.
Yeah.
But then the other 4 that he was putting in to make it to 12 or to 14 or whatever, he was developing a new technique to get the teeth better, straighter, faster, easier.
Yeah.
And so then his breakthrough led to him, being one of the founders of the Invisalign movement.
Oh,
so
nice.
like, see what I mean? Like, it's just, you got to kind of say, like, for you, it's like you're working there 8 hours, and then it's like, what can I do now to like go to the next level? So anyway, Stephen King, man, I don't want to rampage on it too much, but like, we always try to leave our listeners with some uplifting advice out there. So it's like, guys, whatever you're at in your life, whatever you're trying to do, just get to the starting line. That's the important thing. But the more important thing is to cross it, because a lot of people get up to it and they look down that hill and they're excited, but you got to cross it. You got to take the step, and then you got to take the next step after that, because you might be the most talented person out there, most talented QB, the most talented figure skater, the most talented executive, the most talented writer, most talented podcaster like me. But the only thing that's going to really make the work or that talent worth having is working it, and working it in a way that people will notice. Having a product, whether it's your own skill, your game, or whether it's your product, or whether it's your content or your creativity, your art. So get to the starting line and cross it. And then from there, it's going to be a lot of hard work, but it'll be worth it, because that's what Stephen King says will equate to success. So
Gotta believe him.
you got to believe somebody who's written so many books and made so much money just sitting and tapping away at a typewriter. So
We got to write books.
Don't be a hero, mate. You look after your mates, and your mates will always look after you. Yeah, cheers.
all right, talk about mates looking after mates. We are going down to the land down under. We do Aussie news every show at the bottom of the show, just to make sure you guys know what's going on in the land down under. So, again, just keeping it riding, keeping it rolling with the heartwarming stuff on here. I have a story for you guys about little Joey.
Oh.
It's very clear where this is going.
Yeah.
Kangaroo Island Joey retrieved in 1 in a million rescue thanks to bad phone reception. So,
Thanks to bad phone.
to bad phone reception. So these guys are building a golf course, like a big new golf course and
New South Wales.
Big clubhouse. No, Kangaroo Island. Kangaroo Island. And one of the guys who helped like build the construction or the golf course, one of the construction guys was like, surveying it, going out and kind of driving around looking for, things that might have to be worked on or whatever. And he lost cell reception in this like gully. And so he drove up this hill, like in his golf cart or whatever, gets to the top of the hill and is like on the phone and hears like this scruffling and splashing around and is like looking around. There's like no river, no creek, no nothing. Like, what the heck?
Probably a crocodile.
Yeah, just bringing water with it. And he's like kind of looking around and there's like this like little embankment area and he like goes over and there's like a big bush, but he's looking at it and it's actually a tree that's growing out of like a well. But it's like covered by this like tree top. And then he's like looking in there and a little baby kangaroo had fallen in. It was like 3 meters. It was
Stupid
like
kangaroo.
definitely is just more than 7 feet.
Yeah.
And with conversion. And so he called like this local kangaroo like rescue specialist, and I guess like that's an occupation in Australia.
I'm moving to Australia.
Yeah,
dude.
baby, kangaroo,
Nah.
Kangaroo specialist.
Yep, stuck in a whale. All right, I'm out of here.
Yeah, is that what you called me for?
Yeah, she's stuck in there. All right, mate. Yeah.
Okay, so I just have to tell this, man, because like these Australian cute stories, man, they just get me so bad. Kangaroo specialist climbs down, puts the ladder down in the well and climbs down, right? And they say that typically baby kangaroos are just like skittish. Like when they got to rescue them, they got to chase them around. It's a whole rigmarole. And apparently with all the bushfires, it was a big thing. So they've learned that this is just they got to catch them. They got to chase them, right?
Yeah.
So they're like, all right, we'll get down there and get this baby kangaroo. Get down there. there's like bones from other animals that have
my
fallen in.
God.
This is like the most terrifying thing, like for like a little kid. To, like,
That Joey's gonna be scarred for life.
Yeah.
That baby kangaroo ate those animals. That's what you don't know.
Yeah.
He's the next victim.
Yeah. Person, like their foot like hits the bottom of the well, which was apparently like a colonial well that's been there for like 170 years.
It's a lot of bones down
Yeah,
there.
yeah. And dirty water. Like what?
Yeah.
Like you think like after a while they'd be like, no wonder they abandoned it. Anyway, foot hits the bottom. Baby kangaroo comes hopping over and just like clutches their pant leg, and is just like hanging on and is just like so scared. But they're just like, that was so abnormal. But like they're like every couple of years you have a moment with an animal that just like transcends really like that connection between humans and nature.
Yeah.
And they're just like, that was one of them for me, where just like typically these little things that just scurry away from you, got to go catch them to save them, came up to him and just like, please God help me.
Yeah.
Like,
There's so many. I feel so bad for animals that get caught in, traps or a well or something. Or, I saw a video of a lady saving a koala in one of the fires.
Oh.
Like it was on a tree and things, it was just burning. So she runs over and grabs it, and like they're trying to put some like water on its paws and stuff and like give it water. Like it was just so sad to see.
Oh man. But that's awesome that she got it.
Yeah.
Or her.
Yeah. It.
Yeah. to be fair, or for good news, this little girl, actually, she made it. They wrapped her up, cleaned her off, rinsed her down, and nursed her back to health, and then kind of put her on a little preserve with other kangaroos.
Oh, so she's a Josephine.
Little Josephine.
Wouldn't they think of just putting a cage on that well or something?
And so that's what the guy said.
Okay.
He's like, now I know what my next construction project is just like fencing all the wells on the golf course.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this, like, everyone cares down there. Everyone just seems to be a good person.
Something
like,
that good came out of it.
yeah. So, anyway, little rescue Joey. I mean, there's a picture in here with all the bones just like strewn around the well. It's like creepy as hell.
Oh man!
And then like this tree is just like chilling in the middle of it.
That's probably some like chupacabra's just death pit or something. Like after it eats, it just tosses the bones in there.
Yeah, it's like picking itself. That'd be creepy to get down there and that shit.
Yeah.
It's like waiting for you.
Yeah. That just shows you in life, when you fall down a well, that's just a lesson that you have to learn, and you have to climb your way out, or maybe someone will bail you out, and you have to work on it, and you're gonna know that next time when you come to the edge of that well, you don't take that other step, you jump over, go around it, because if you're not learning from your mistakes, well, what are you doing? That's insanity. It truly is. So maybe after you've made too many mistakes and you die, we'll make a mask out of your head. It'll be cool. Whole process. We'll get some artists to make it all metal. Send it off to the art galleries or something that you would like. And then maybe we'll cast your foot, and then because I know you like saying, I'm gonna shove my foot up your ass, and then maybe we can do that after you're dead. But really, what would you do if you had to start all over and find your way? It's those things in life that put things into perspective, because a lot of people have it a lot worse than us, so it's not that bad where you are. You gotta look at your life a little differently. You can cry about it all you want. No one's gonna listen. You have to come to terms that no one cares. But so you have to care. You have to realize all the stupid stuff you're doing that's not working, and it hasn't been working for the last decade. So take control of the reins. You got to starting now. And if you don't have any talent, you gotta have hard work. Here we are in the recommendation station. It's my turn to give you guys a recommendation of a music, movie, some sort of book, lifestyle. What I want to do, I want to give you guys a game that I've been playing. I've been wasting my time on this podcast episode of being productive and
there's
useful.
sacred time though.
Yeah,
like when you're on the John.
Exactly.
Like that's sacred time.
Exactly.
That's mobile game time.
It is. So I want to recommend Super Auto Pets by teamwoodgames.com. It's a game that you can play on your phone. You can play it on Steam if you have a computer. You can play it on a web browser.
Whoa.
You can, and it's all free. You don't have to pay nothing for it. If you do want expansions, you can. I think it's like either $2 or $5 or something. But still,
Nice.
like you get more pets. So the basis is that you get these cute little animals. They have different abilities and different factors, and you buy them with the gold, and you get like you're given random ones to buy each turn, and then you can level them up by buying multiples of them.
Hold on, are they bringing back Tamagotchis? Is that what this is?
No, you don't feed them. I guess you do feed them, but you get like different bonuses and different abilities. But you make your team, they do stuff. Then what you do is once you hit play and you choose your team name, it's just like an adjective and a noun. It's great, and then it just auto battles another team of someone else's out in the world.
Nice.
And then so it's just kind of sit back and let the math work itself out. So
Do you? What's the kangaroo? Is it pretty powerful?
sometimes, yeah, kangaroo.
Sometimes.
So
What's the most powerful animal?
It depends. There's different tiers,
Ooh.
and each one does depending on what kind of build you're going for, what kind of
Deck build?
team makeup.
What kind
that
of
you're
deck
going
build
for.
you're going?
Because you get up five animals
Ah.
or 5 pets. So the kangaroo it gains bonuses of attack and defense every time the pet in front of it attacks. so then you want to get something beefy up front that's attacking a lot,
pow.
and then it beefs up your kangaroo behind it.
Kangaroo, getting
So,
souped up.
You get all these combos. But the best thing about this game is one, it's okay. This isn't the best thing. It's frustrating because it takes a while to win. Like
Yeah.
it took me I think over a month to get my first win.
Oh my god!
But like it's still addicting.
I would have quit so fast.
But no, you get so close, like you can almost taste it. Like, okay, I just gotta, be like you start. It starts getting easier because you start noticing, like, okay, these things work together. This
Sure.
doesn't work, but so it is
Goddamn
tough.
penguins.
I've won 3 in a row before, and I've also got a perfect win where I haven't lost any lives and I won 10 games.
Whoa!
So that was a highlight.
Okay, highlight.
Yeah.
Sweet,
But
dude.
so the best thing about the game is you could just stop playing and it just maintains your spot. It's like you don't have to play through the whole thing. You can just exit out and it's saving your spot for you. It's you come back, it says continue on turn 3. There
Take
you
that
go.
phone call.
Yeah, your whole team's still ready, roaring to go. Like
Sweet.
so that's what makes it great because you're pooping, you're done wiping. All right, save it for the next shit. Super Auto Pets.
Super Auto Pets. I love it. I might have to give it a try. Oh man. What's the art like? It's good art. It's okay.
It's basic.
2D. Basic.
It's basic.
It's basic. Anyway, this is a good show. Very thematic. Very very deep and very Socratic. Very intelligent and
If you want to call it that.
yeah. Attempting to be. Hey, we're not talented. We just do a lot of work around here.
Right.
So we're just trying to work our way to a smarter life. But thank you for going on the ride with us. This has been episode 72 of the Velocity Chaos podcast. What a ride we have been on. Look at all the work that we have done. Wow. We look back, it's been a long way. I just want to thank DJ Hightop for being here and just keeping it real.
Hey, try to every show, guys. Thanks for having me on.
You've been jumping in the death mask. Man, you know a lot about death masks. Maybe there's something we don't know about.
I watched a lot of Game of Thrones.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us on this round of Velocity Chaos podcast. Hope to see you on the next one. It would be awesome to hear from you guys. You can hit us up on all the social media platforms. You can also email us at the Velocity Chaos podcast at gmail.com. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the show, ideas for new segments, or ideas for material for segments that already exist. Come on in, join us. The water is fine. This is Nick signing off.
And this is Luke signing off. Thank you guys so much. Please tell a friend. Hey, if not, tell the police officer that just pulled you over saying you're listening to the Velocity Chaos podcast, okay? Relax, and he'll let you off. If not, just pay the damn thing. But like we always say, take that first step and shake hands with hard work. Have a good one. Thank you for tuning in to the Velocity Chaos Podcast. We upload new episodes every Monday and Thursday. Be sure to subscribe and rate us on iTunes, Spotify, or your podcast platform of choice. Interact with us on Instagram at Velocity Chaos Pod or on Facebook and YouTube at Velocity Chaos Podcast. We are grateful for your time and hope you enjoyed it here. Please tell a friend, and thank you once again.